I get shit for free? So we are living in an age of increasing Instagram influencer approaches to getting things done. And if you have spent any time on the internet the last couple of weeks, you've probably heard about a business owner who's been tired of being approached for services for free in return for exposure, likes, or space on someone else's Instagram page. And I want to talk a little bit today about why I think that's a flawed approach. You can't get shit for free. That's unlikely to happen for you. I don't know anyone that's ever happened for. What is much more likely is that you get shit for other things of value. And your job is to work out what it is that you can offer somebody to maybe not have to pay the full dollar amount if money is not available for you. What this really comes down to is understanding how to negotiate. So I like negotiating, but I know that it puts a lot of people off. And I want to talk a little bit about negotiating today because it's something that I really feel passionate about. And I think there's a lot of myths that can be dispelled and a lot of ways that you could become a way more effective negotiator, which means that you get more shit that you want. So let's use an example. I'm a budding model and I see a photographer whose work I really dig. And I message that person and say, can we do a trade shoot? There's a chance that this person's going to say yes. But if they're successful and they already have a portfolio, chances are they're probably not looking to add to their portfolio right now with new shots. So me offering what I have, not as much experience, potentially not what they need in terms of money, isn't going to get me very far. At best, I get a no thank you, and at worst, I just get ignored. That's not a good result because I didn't get what I wanted. So what else could I be doing? Well, I might be able to approach that person with something else that's on the table. Perhaps I can only afford half of the dollar amount, but there's some other things that I can add that makes it worth it for that person. Perhaps I have some extra photography equipment that I can barter. Perhaps I'm able to put together some really insane wardrobe and a killer makeup team, and I'm able to offer that. Perhaps I have access to a really incredible location or lodging, or perhaps I'm able to offer something else in my toolbox that they might be interested in. So why I love negotiating is because it really gives us a chance to be creative. And as weirdos and artists and entrepreneurs, creativity is our inherent skill set. So this is our chance to get really, really creative and thoughtful about what else we might be able to offer people and put out there on the table. There's still a chance that you can get a no, but it's a much more productive conversation. And it does a couple of things. Number one, it tells the person that you're working with that you're serious about coming to an agreement on something. It signals that you value their work enough to put the time and thought into coming up with an offer that they themselves might value. And it also increases the likelihood that down the road, you have a longer term working relationship. I know right now it's really tempting to think about things in the short term, but I can't overestimate how important it is to be able to build up relationships and rely on those over time. That's where the good clients and where the good business comes in. And let's face it, life's about relationships. So ideally, you don't piss off the people that you're trying to work with, you forge something strong with them so that you have a kick-ass team to go do your work with. There are a couple of things that you can do once you've put your offer together. Recognize that the first attempt that you make might result in a no. Perhaps the person's just not interested, they're not able to accept what you're offering, or it's not the right combination of things that they're looking to get. You don't have to take that straight away as an answer. You can say to somebody, hey, this is the thing that I'm able to offer. Would that be of interest to you? And if you get a no, you can always follow up with, is there anything else that you'd be willing to accept in lieu of traditional payment? You can always ask for more information and see if there's anything that you can do to follow up with to see if there might still be a negotiation opportunity on the table. The other thing to bear in mind is that when it comes to negotiating, the goal is for both people on both sides of the equation to be happy. If you don't get what you want, the negotiation's failed. And if the other person doesn't get anything that they want, the negotiation has also failed. So ideally, you're looking for a middle ground, somewhere where both people give a little bit and some people get a little bit. And overall, everyone's happier than if no negotiation had happened at all. So let's say I offer a photographer half of their going rate, but I'm also able to offer an incredible location and some kick-ass wardrobe. And they say to me, thank you for the offer. Right now, I'm really only accepting money. This isn't a suitable offer for me. The worst thing I could do at that point would be to just give up and say, okay. There's probably something else that I can do that might be of interest to that person. Option number 2, perhaps it doesn't just need to be me that shows up for the shoot that day. Perhaps I have a friend or someone else that's interested in getting some pictures taken, and we can go together and together pony up the rate. That way, I only have to pay for half of it, but I still get an opportunity to work with this person. I get to bring another person on board, which expands my network and my community. The photographer gets paid, so they're happy, and someone else gets to come in at a lower rate as well. And that might be another option to put on the table. And again, you might get a no. That might not be something that that person's interested in accepting, but it gives you a chance to come at it from a different way. So I encourage you, now that you're thinking about this a little bit more, what else do you have on the table to offer? What can you put together as a package to offer somebody if you're not able to pay the full price right out the gate? And what are some other options that you can get creative with so that everyone ends up with a win?